more and more convinced as I journey with students that they will become what we tell them they are. I'm Mike Gearing, and I'm the high school director here at Sunset Pres. When I hear adults talk about kids as lazy or disinterested or criticize style, that their entire generation is this way or that way, so often we don't give them credit for what they really are capable of. I think that oftentimes we don't take the time as adults to get to know students, and so we make the same assumptions that our culture would make about them. When you get more involved in their lives, I think oftentimes we see them for who they really are, a very passionate, very creative group who will give their entire life for a cause that matters to them. And yet I think the church is always one of the last places that really invites them into a meaningful relationship. It's pretty simple. You can be in relationship with a high school student and make a profound impact on their lives. Church wasn't intended to be a spectator sport.
I think people think that ministry to children is kind of a cute little thing that people can do, and it's not really that important in the whole huge realm of what the church does. My name is Beth Werner, and I am the minister to children here at Sunset. It's not just this little cute, oh, isn't that cute, that she thinks she accepted Jesus. It's real in God's eyes. It's totally real. The millennial generation that we have in our Sunday school today, people who are under 20 years old, they're breaking from the excesses of their parents. They're looking like they're more community-oriented than me-oriented. It's looking like they're much more interested in service than being a consumer. And so they're kind of on the tipping point of becoming this amazing generation that could be doing a huge work for God in the world. And yet a lot of it's going to depend on how we as adults relate to them and how we bring them up in the faith.
We need to see this as part of our mission as a church, to have a pure generation of students rising up within our body, within our church. I am Kurt Brandemel. I work with the middle schoolers here at Sunset. I think that a lot of people are scared of middle schoolers. I find that middle schoolers are some of the most open people. They're easy to talk to. They're still very impressionable. The cement is not hardened yet. They're starting to deal with real life issues, and they start to ask the bigger questions, and they start to face things, and they start to doubt if their parents' faith or their grandparents' faith. They start to wonder for themselves if it's really true. They start asking the question of, if my parent says something different than my friend does, who's right, and who do I follow? And I think there's a lot we can do as a church. As a body of people, we need to start speaking into the lives of these students. I think a lot of times why we don't do that, again, is we look at our past and we think, well, we failed in the past. We don't have a perfect record. God can use your story. The beautiful thing about God is God loves to turn things around. God loves to redeem the broken and change the way things are, and He does that through His church.
One of the most encouraging things about the church is that we're still trying to connect to students for the sake of the student, for the sake of the rest of their lives. My name is Eric Venable. I'm the minister to students and families here at Sunset Presbyterian Church. The tension that we feel in the 17-year-old who doesn't feel like he or she has a connection into the adult community, and the parents that feel like, well, we're not really close with our students, is the same thing that every parent in our community feels. Most of us as parents are sitting around saying, what should we be doing differently? One of the more difficult things for adults is to see that they're really needed in the life of a child. It can often feel like students will be pushing adults away, like they don't want them. Because of the love of Jesus, it compels us to say, no, we don't let this just go. We are going to do something about it, because the next generation is incredibly important to us. Our children are important to us.